Larry Warner here with Absolute Electric Inc. in Vancouver, Washington. We have a single switch controlling a couple lights in the ceiling. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this single and go to two switches, so it's a 2-gain box, and make it to where we're also switching some wall outlets for the homeowner. What I like to do is to find out ahead of time kind of what room we've got to work with in the location that I'm at. And so we're going to go ahead and take this cover plate off and see how much room we've got to work with. Looking at it, the previous job had an oversized hole, so it's telling me that the stud is on this side. And looking at it, fortunately I'm able to put something in here, and sure enough I got plenty of room to get this out. So what we're going to do is get this switch off. And map out our box here. Now, I always have a drop cloth down underneath my work when I'm working in any given job, so that way I'm able to drop a few things down. Now, someone has had added this at one time, must have been a remodel or something, and I got a combination of different wires here. So we're going to go ahead and disassemble everything. And get it to where we can get this done. I always try to leave as much wire that they have here. This particular setup, whoever wired it didn't leave us much to work with, so you'll find that the amount of wire becomes precious to you on your makeup. Alright. I always tape up my wires too, so that way if something was to accidentally get turned on, we're protected for not getting shocked. I always work everything as if it was hot. It looks like they got excess wire in here for us to work with, so that's a nice thing. It's 12 gauge wire. You'll find that there are a lot of different brands of tape out there. You can buy an inexpensive roll for 50-60 cents. We like to use the Scotch 33 Plus. It's really pliable. It's thin. If you're fishing wires, it is a good tape to not take up a lot of room for your fishing wires into a hole. So I like that part about it. So we got a fiber box in the wall. In a lot of older homes, it's going to be a metal box that has that's stapled or nailed to the stud. And in this case, it's just an old fiber box. So, alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and break this box out. There's a bunch of different ways of doing it. It's a fiber box, so I can have some flexibility in using my screwdriver to break it out that way. Or another thing that we do more often is we take just a standard hacksaw blade and we go inside and we find the nail that it's attached to the stud and we actually cut it out. And you'll find that that works most of the time. And most of the time this is what you'll end up doing. You just gotta take it easy. You don't overextend on the box. You'll hear it start to go through, and there's one. We're going to find the other side, do the same thing. Now these nails are way in the back of the box, so you gotta watch how far you push. And you'll feel, after you do this a couple times, you'll feel that feel and sound when you're about ready to go through the nail. Sometimes it takes a little more effort and time than the other one. Here we go. Well, this one's gonna be a little stubborn here. Almost got it. Hear it? There we go. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and take this out. Sometimes when you're cutting in a 2-gang box, it's easier to leave the box in there and then take it out later, but this is coming right out, so this is good. Alright, so now we got that in here. I don't feel any extra wires or anything. So we're going to take this, push it back into the wall. Alright. So what I have here is a 2-gang box, and it's designed for a remodel application or something where you're adding after the fact the drywall's being up. And it's got 2 screws in the side that are, it's UL listed, designed to be placed into the wall, and you're able to screw these 2 screws in and attach it to the stud. Really handy box. We used to just take the screws and screw them in, and it wasn't UL listed for it. Of course, they went and changed it, and now it is. So what I like to do is I like to take and match up to our hole here. And I like to then trace out my box. Like so. Now some guys will just go ahead and start cutting away, but I like to take my knife and score the line. And what that does is it helps prevent chip outs like this here. And they probably put this dimmer in, switch in when it was wet, and so it pulled the paint. So what I'm doing is help preventing any drywall or paint to chip out anymore. And you don't want to put a lot of pressure on your knife, you're just scoring it, because if you put too much pressure on it, sometimes it can get away from you and cause you more trouble with the score and the drywall. I'm going to take a standard sheetrock saw, get all my wires out of the way so I don't damage anything. And I'm going to take and I'm going to go inward cuts. I'm not going to pull too much outward. So good here. See how it's starting to pull there a little ways? I'm glad I did that. Scored the wall. And there we go. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is fish a wire. And I'm going to know where it's at up in the attic because of the location of the other existing wires. I'll feed a wire down and then we'll come back and we'll install this switch.